Live. Alright, let's use this grace period at the beginning of the stream to live. Cool. So between the end of the last stream and now I did a little bit of touch-ups, but really not much. I just added these to the stats. So the frames per second is now floored, and it also shows the frame number, which is also tracked. I added some to-do comments, added the tick number. I moved the main function from here, and actually just got rid of it, so now you just have main.js, which does the startup. Let's see what else. Upstream changes, added to-do comments, added frame output and forward FPS movement. Yeah, that's pretty much the extent of what I did. I also pulled up an article for linear interpolation because I will probably be needing this. What linear interpolation is so say you have a square and it's at 5, 5 your x coordinates, and then it moves in one frame because like maybe the square is following your mouse and it's a drawing program that's plopping squares down. So it moves from there to there in one frame. You could have it just jump there, but you might want it to be smoothed out in a line going from here to here so that you have every single position between here. And that might not be the only reason you might want to do this. Another reason is if you're doing hit detection, say you have a rectangle and you have an object that's moving to the right, and if the object is moving so fast that on the next frame it's here, then the object goes through the wall without ever being detected as a collision. However, if you were to linearly interpolate this, then you'd be able to have an in-between calculation that shows that actually in the line between the start and the end there is a square that intersects with the wall. So that can be counted as a collision, and then instead of moving through the wall, you'd move it back so that the square is here. Now we're not doing that. We're doing this. And the reason we're doing this, having these in-between points for linear interpolation, is for the animation. Because I might want to have move a circle from here to here, but animate it. So instead of just having it pop from here to here, have a special case where it will interpolate from this position to the position that it will be at. That was weird. Some snapping action. Beep. Okay. So we'll just have that on the side. Nothing's changed. It's been 13 hours and only 8,000 frames have elapsed. So you can see the time is still accurate. Because basically the T delta was a huge value between the last time. Anyways, I also have this here, empty array.pop, just to see what it does. It gives you undefined. So it's good that we're checking the length of the array before popping the code. And I think what I should be doing in this stream is, well, first I need to make this stabilize, because this isn't really doing anything useful. So that's what we'll focus on first. Still in the loop. Increase the time elapsed and the text area value. And stack push accelerate. Okay, so here's where we need to. But also X-ray T delta 2 loop running time elapsed score last stamp check now last. So game.last stack equals cell stack. What? So, what are we doing? Okay, so get the new ring if possible. And then what? We're getting the new ring and drawing a line from where it's going to go. No OBS wastes no time in losing the connection. Okay, so stack.getStack, we're getting stack 6. And we're drawing a line, which I don't remember how to do. But I know it's a draw. Line to stack, stack 1, stack 2 color. Okay. So draw.line to stack, and we'll do 6 to, I guess, game.last stack. I guess we didn't really need to do that. So that actually needs to happen before stacks are done. Now let's go ahead and stack center empty is on a function. There we go. I forgot to specify a color. So this is the game signifying that it shows this. So it's going to attempt to send a blue ring onto this stack, and if I refresh the page, you see it chooses a different one, sending a yellow to this red. Something went wrong. Did it choose itself? Game.last. What? So why would that happen then? Last stack is supposed to start out as 6. Game.random stack. Game.random ring. You see it chose a random ring. Okay, so if stacks are empty, then it pushes the random ring and sets the cell stack, but how in the fuck is it coming up with -1? That shouldn't be happening. How? Random stack is just... Yeah, okay, I see I got the order of operations wrong. All right, good. So we're doing it roughly 60 frames per second, but we want to be calculating on time, not on frames. Because if you're doing a 144 hertz monitor, then that should result in the frame rate jumping to 144, but the timing of things in game should not speed up. So we're going to have a center timeout, which will start at we'll specify it in a number of milliseconds. So center timeout is going to be, I guess, 15,000. It's going to start at that. And what we're going to do is calculate how much time has passed since the center time starts. So we need to integrate that into the tick function. We also need to differentiate though. So we need to flag. This is getting messy. So in our tick function, what we need to do is if game.center time reset, then game.center time reset equals 0. Game dot I mean, the diff is stored in the T delta, so I can just, yeah, I think I'll do that instead of putting it in the tick function. Update center time. Game.center time reset equals 0. Game dot center time start equals yeah, I don't really see a way to oh, well, I have the last stamp. Okay, so let cur time and maybe update center time. I mean, we have the timestamp, so I can just use that. Game game dot what am I doing? Diff equals cur stamp minus game. No, not game dot last time. Game dot center time start. If diff is greater than game dot center time out. And game dot center time reset equals 1. And stack that push game dot last stack but in the meantime we can so diff is the time that is the difference between the time that is elapsed and the timeout, the time limit, should be displayed as a number. I can do it in the stats. So I need a way to draw text. This should take 15 seconds, approximately. You can do it. Oh, I don't think I actually put the function in there. not sure if it did it. I wasn't paying attention. I do want to display it on the thing, not in the text field. Man. Why is diff nan? Did I not put it in the arguments? Okay, so now you can see the time remaining. Yeah, there you go. There's another 15-second countdown. So since we don't have any logic to make this move illegal, it's going to cover the, yeah. So now we have that working. So now we need to figure out Okay, so now we need to implement that drawing function. Simply to draw a text in the center. And we'll need to play with these little properties, but for now let's get fill text, text X, Y. Let's see how that works out. Oops. Okay, so we get the new ring, we draw a centered line, and then we draw our stacks, and then we draw the text and the center time. It's not working though. So what we need to do is not game draw dot center text. It's white, that's why. Okay, so now we just need to make that look better. And the plan is to have this countdown decrease in time up to a certain cap as you gain more score within the game. So text align and text baseline. I believe text align is middle and baseline is center. No, baseline is middle, text align is center. Now, what would be a good font? Hello, EC. See the chat. So font style. What font style are we doing? Yeah, that looks pretty good. If I could just make it a little bigger. And what other properties are there? All of those fonts are ugly. Good more fonts that are ubiquitous. Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, I think that looks fine. I could design my own font for the numbers, which would require drawing the numbers and then plopping them down. But we're not going to go that in depth. If I remember right, there is a way to to load in an image and then to draw a section of the image onto the canvas, but not the whole image. And you can use that to basically load in a sprite sheet. And of course, these stacks are growing. So if I go stack.stacks, you'll see that they're getting pretty big. Like this says 6 in there, 1, 2, 3, 2, like that's an invalid stack. But we're not checking that yet. So it's just able to arbitrarily plop things down. Because there's no logic to do the game over yet. Okay, we're also going to need, well, that's what the flag is for. So and that update center time here. So when we need, when the when we need a new ring in the center, we will set the center time reset flag to 1. And to also pop we'll just put it all in one. So no. There we go. And there we go. So if the center timer set flag is set, then we unset it and we select a new stack and ring and put those up. And here we set the new timestamp. Thanks, Ben. Don't really care about that anymore. Let's just get rid of that. But we do need to. Man, this is. This is tricky. Because I'll show you what happens if we just leave it as is. If we let the stacks draw with nothing on them and then draw the text, it's not going to render right. You may not notice it, but there's always going to be a frame where the stack doesn't exist, and that's just kind of janky to me. So we'll go ahead and do this instead. It's a little better. So now there's no, as I was saying before, OBS rudely interrupted me. There's now, I mitigated the flash where there's a frame where there's no ring. Because I cached the text. Because this is the only place where the difference is available, because that's where we have the timestamp. Now, oh man, this is complicated. Oh, I hate this. Having to keep track out of the state outside of the loop. And then like do this time stepping shit. It just seems so messy and icky. Because we wouldn't want to. Oh, maybe it would work. But the thing is that if I were to make a separate loop that does the animation that's independent of the main game loop, it'll be out of sync. There's no way to guarantee, because there's literally in the name asynchronous. So if you have the screen being painted white right after the animation frame, then you're going to see blinking. We also need the start time. So maybe we could have an animation object that holds all the animations. Animation.push. So yeah, we'll do that instead. Let's go figure that out. We'll have it in draw. Okay, so static list, static we'll do is a static push. Well, so that doesn't really work. Whoa, what is going on? Game crashed. Oh. Okay, so that's searching for index. Like there is a 0th index in this array. Because what that's basically asking is if this is valid. That's not what I want. I'm looking for a value in there. So let's try what I was doing again. 5.6 dot find x. Let's find something that's not in there. We'll get undefined. If obj. Okay, it types dot find Okay. So we have start time, source, and destination. So the start time is going to be a number, I think. Maybe let's not type check it. Instead, just do animation.list.push So we'll save the object, and then we'll do static animate all. or maybe step all. And we'll do is list dot for each. And I suppose this is where we're going to have to change this. I suppose I could just take that a little further. Okay, so I'm slowly figuring this out. So function anim, and for each anim what we're going to do is we're going to call animation.stepFNs anim.type on anim. Yes. So for ring move, the type is ring move. The animation step function is going to be called as ring move step. So this will handle the linear interpolation. So now I just have to do a little bit of reading. So we'll have a test point of 0, 0, and our endpoint will be 50, 50. And this is the problem we're trying to solve right now. Let's say that there are 50 steps in the animation. Fuck it, let's do 100. So if we do E0 minus S0 divided by 100 for the number of steps times step, which would be like the nth step, basically. So you're saying, like, I want to know what the value of this will be at t equals 5. So 5 steps in. That's what the step represents. The only problem is that this could be negative because subtraction is not commutative. I almost said commutative. Times step. So we're just going to start over. So 0, 0, 50, 50. And I want to know what it will look like 1 step in, 2 steps in, 16 steps in. Okay. And if we start out with negative 50, negative 50, that doesn't make sense though. So this isn't right because it's a range of 100, negative 50 to positive 50. So 6 steps in should be negative 44. So you see the algorithm is wrong. The naive algorithm I just came up with here is wrong. And that's why I need to figure this out. Because if I don't have the linear interpolation right, then the animation will not be right. And I've done linear interpolation before. It might have to do with Pythagorean theorem or square roots. Let's stop working in 2 dimensions and just work in 1 dimension. So we'll just have Okay. Now, once again, we're going to start with -50, and we want to see what 2 steps into that with the 100 granularity is. I expect, since it's a 1-to-1 mapping, we should have a -48, and we get 0. So that's not right either. Ah, yes, of course. So we're doing S plus okay. How's the granularity being decided? That's not right at all. Let's try that other method, the imprecise one. So we have start plus step times the difference. Come on, man. 2 steps in, we need to have -48. Oh, I got it. Just need to check some things. So what about 16 steps into this? 34. Okay. And let's just check from a positive value to another positive value, 25 to 50 in 100 steps. Yeah, 16 divided by 4 is 4 inches. And at step 0 is going to be 25. So step 2 again, but we're going to go from a higher value to a lower value. So 25 to 20, 24.9. Two steps into that is 19.62 because we're starting at 20 and ending at 1, not ending at 0. Just because 0 is a different edge case. So 19.6. Alright, awesome. I figured out my linear interpolation. So I'm going to copy that. So ring moves. How many frames should it take? About a quarter second, so say 250 frames. Okay, so cur stamp is the current timestamp. But what we want is how many timestamps have elapsed. This is going to be a little tricky. So let diff equals cur stamp minus cell anim dot start time. And then we need to get a time step out of that, so that's going to be measured in milliseconds. We need to take game.t delta so t delta is the number of frames that actually, not the number of frames, the number of milliseconds that passed since the last frame. Okay, and then let chords 1 is stack dot and we're going to give a copy of it. Okay, so stack.get chords of cell anim dot source. And then C. Okay, so we have our X and Y coordinates. Let I need to save the ring type as well. Well, hold on. If I'm just animating whatever's on the stack, but what is happening back here? Because, yeah, we did take it off. See, I had that wrong. The source is 6. It's always 6. And the destination is stack dest, which, yeah, is the actual stack number. And then the ring. So I guess the animations are the source of the jank. You can see how this could go wrong. So we're going to wait to actually put it on to the stack. Okay, so update center stack, draw stacks. Draw center text. And text area value. But then we're also going to animation dot step all with the current stamp. So every step of the loop, it'll step through that animation until the animation is done. And actually, yeah, I want to hold out that too. Yeah. Okay, so when the animation is over, it will push the ring where it belongs for real. And it will also set the reset flag so that the next time this function is called, it will actually put the new ring onto the middle stack. This will make a nice smooth animation from the middle to wherever it's going. Because with down here with animation step all, we've given the animation system a hook into the drawing system. So this is the entry. And anytime we need to do an animation, we'll do this. We'll push an object representing the parameters of the animation, and then let the animator animate it every frame. So I think that's all the information we need. So out x equals not x, c start 0 plus step plus step times ce0 minus cs0 divided by, what's the resolution? Resolution. And then out y is the same thing but with the y coordinates. And then what we need to do is draw dot, oh dear, draw dot draw ring xy ring value. Okay, so we have our x and y. We need the ring value though. What did I set that to? Ring. So cell anim dot ring. Cell anim dot ring. And we need to if step is greater than or equal to resolution, then we need to do cell anim. Wow. Cell anim dot callback and this probably won't work because nothing this complicated ever works on the first try. And draw on line 6. Ring move step is not defined. List is not defined on line 39. Okay, cool. Now let's shorten that delay. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna need to figure this out at some other time. Holy shit. That was completely broken. So instead of 15,000, we'll just do like 2,000. Why does it do that though? So anim.end frames. Did you really refresh it though? That's whack. And why are these circles in the middle being drawn still? There is no such instruction to do that. There should be clearing. Like, this function has its time to be drawing. This is really weird. I mean, it works. That method absolutely does remove specified object from. Oh my god. Should not be getting that many. That's absurd. goes fucking apeshit while it's in the middle of the animation. Is that why? Because I can't help but notice that while the animation is going, there's a shitload of animations in the array, which there shouldn't be. That should only happen once. Maybe this is happening multiple times. How is it even getting stuck? There's no while loops happening. Well, there's one now while loop. It's used in padding a string. So, like, unless the string is infinite length, which is not, because that string's right here, you can see it. If we're just doing a simple request animation frame, you don't need to freeze and be temperamental. Ooh, this is annoying. Ah. And I could tune it to be just a little bit faster. Okay, so what I did was I implemented a lockout. So update center stack lockout. Thanks. I'm going to say that the center text equals empty string until... Where's the function? Oh my god, you're so annoying. What the fuck did you do? There we go. Beautiful. Now let's just make the animation a little faster. Which is controlled in animation. Hey. Okay, so the resolution is the key to how long it takes. I don't know if making it over twice as fast is going to look good. Okay, maybe I should just game.kill before I leave the window, because this is obnoxious. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. It's very fast, but you can still tell what's going on. I'm actually pretty happy with that. So, yeah, the only things that are left to do now: add a scoring system, add input, so that hitting space will cut the timer short, give the ability to drag from rings, which like most of the groundwork is already there. Just give the ability to drag rings from one stack to another. And fix whatever the hell is causing it to lock up like that. Via input, rules, scoring. Seems like the scoring is simple. It's depending on the size of the stack you build, which the minimum size is an orange and a blue. But if you do an orange and a blue and a red, or an orange and a blue and a green, orange, blue, and a red and a green, then that's the highest scoring. So that's your scores. You could do like 50 for yellow, blue, 100 for yellow, blue, red, and then 250 for yellow, blue, red, green. So just have the rules. And we also need to fix whatever the hell is causing it to freeze up, because that's not cool. It's like that would be a game over right there. I'll probably end the stream now, though. Yeah, because I've been live for an hour and a half. So that's some good progress. It's coming together, for sure. I do need to figure out why the hell it's freezing the browser, though. That's not good. In fact, it's more than not good. It's unacceptable.